People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, people elsewhere on the internet. I'm here to cut the 7-up pound cake, but look at this. When I did the litmus test, there's a bunch of glitter on the strip. That's too funny to me. Anyway, fortunately, that will not, be on the skin when you wash with it because that's just the excess glitter on the top that will be brushed off before, you know, everything's said and done. Anyway, without further ado, let's get this chopping. That in there, gorgeous. And it has enough height on the top. Hold on. Double coating of plastic there. Made it hard to slide. Fortunately, this is the same size as my cutter. So I don't have to worry about anything that's, hanging over and all that. But just the temptation to just go straight through and cut it in half is not going to work because the arm will be in the way. So we'll just go ahead and do it the right way. I don't usually cut in pieces of this one, but mine as well. That way everything is all nice and uniform. And that's how it looks. You can tell there's a little circle in there from where it's gelling, and that's fine. It'll continue to do so. It will also continue to get darker in color as time goes by because that's the nature of a vanilla-based fragrance oil, and that's one of the reasons why I use it as the color. See, right now it looks kind of like a, hold on, let me just turn it around. Well, okay, it's got a suction effect going on the marble, but hold up. Check it out. And there's no coloring in there. That's just the vanilla-based fragrance oil, turning that part brown. Well, at this point it's a cake-colored tan, but at some point in time or another, it might actually get chocolate cake brown. So that's how all these will look. And those will all be about the same size, 4 to 5 ounces, because that's how much it always comes out to be. If the amount of frosting I put on the top, I mean, an entire 16-ounce batch went directly on the top as the frosting, and the rest of it was a 48-ounce batch, so technically that's 64 ounces of soap altogether. And wow, does that smell good. The only problem with making this soap is it always, always, always makes me hungry. It just does. But when you make a soap that looks and smells like a cake, I guess that's to be expected. They're that thick. Okay. And I am very pleased with how straight the line is and how securely attached it is because basically I took cold processed soap, made a batch, took cold processed soap, and put it on top of the same batch. Now, when you do that with melt and pour, you have to spray alcohol and such on there, but look how smooth that still is. And then, of course, the sides, you could clean it up or just leave it like that. It gives it a true cake look, so it doesn't matter. And it's really creamy. And that will get harder as time goes by. And when I dip it, I'll rinse away my fingerprints because I'm out of rubber gloves. And that means it will need rinsing just to get rid of my fingerprints and also to make sure that my fingerprints aren't leaving whatever on there. Also, let me show you something right quick. If you look real close, you can see that is not a shadow right there. That is where it's starting to turn dark. So probably that's going to be the shade of brown that is going to finally end up being. But usually, like when it's melt and pour, it takes about a week to turn darker. Apparently, cold process has a different time schedule. Just like the fact that it turned some shade of brown less than 24 hours later surprised me. But hey, it is what it is. And this is a soap that is a favorite among my melt and pour customers, so I am quite sure those customers will come on over to the cold process version. Ah, well, there we go. The frosting was a little bit too high for that almost. So I ended up with a slightly curved piece, but I'm just going to even that on out because that would be the right thing to do. There we go. So that'll just give me a slice for sample. Actually, I'm going to put it over here so that way it's not in the way of the box. Mmm. Almost smells as good as my 7-Up cake with a cup of coffee, which actually has coffee scent and a cup of coffee in it. But look at my hands. All the glitter is on there. That's too fun. Alrighty then. And this piece will be the last piece. And I think I need to turn it around so I can get it right squarely on the 1 inch measure line. Okie dokie. This is still a little bit soft, but the good part about it is when it, solidifies, it won't have fingerprints and all that on it because that'll be taken care of now and it'll get to cure without all the complications of, me being in the way of it. So let's scoot that back just a little teeny bit more. Actually, I'm going to scoot it up and then back. That way it doesn't get in the way of the blade because of the height of the frosting. Now, when I first used to make these, I used to do it in the miter box, and wow, that's really yellow. Look at that. But it will get darker as time goes by. When I used to do it in the miter box, because of how tall the frosting is, look at that. And it used to be taller. I used to have to turn it sideways just so I could be able to cut it because it wouldn't go through. Oh, there's an idea. I could have just turned it sideways to do it. Duh. But anyway, that was the only way to fit the frosting into the cutter to get a nice clean slice was to turn it sideways. And apparently that works with this too. So I evened out that edge now. Ta-da. And that is in the gel process. That's why it has like a bullseye type effect going on. But it will solidify to a uniformness. So now you've seen the 7-Up pound cake cut. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slices, and the 9 is one of those shave it until it gets completely even. So basically I have sample, sample, and sample plus the end piece. So that comprises the ninth piece. I usually just say 8 available because when you do the little trim up on the edges, especially since it's being a loaf pan and the sides literally go like this, when you want everything to go like this, so that's when I end up with those pieces. Anyway, you have now seen the 7-Up pound cake. It's going to go cure and take a nap for a while. I'm going to take some pictures of it, stick it on the blog, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.